Well, hello once again. It is time for Pod Sothoth, a Lovecraft book club. I'm your host, usual reader, and Lovecraft scholar, I guess, Todd Beardsley.
Sure, why not?
I am joined by my attorney, my wife, and my preferred congressional candidate, Claire Reynolds, for Texas's District 11. Claire, I just wanted to start the show by saying we are seriously considering an endorsement for you.
Okay, well, that's fantastic news.
Yes.
What can I do? What do I need to say to win this over, win this endorsement?
Let's see. ICE?
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Okay.
Yeah.
Defund ICE? Abolish ICE?
Just all
Retrain?
of it. No.
Retool ICE?
Retrain them with my boot up their ass.
All right.
I'm not a fan of violence.
No.
But
we're not here
axe them, get rid of them.
to talk about ICE. Oh, hey, how do you feel about public health?
Well,
that's what this story is about, isn't it?
I didn't even know where to start with this. Like, there were so many conflicting parallels to what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into the story, but the Congress thing is real. Visit the show for a link to Claire's webpage. Feel free to donate to Claire instead of Pod Sothoth, a Lovecraft book club.
Legit, guys, like even $5 is helpful.
It would be. And then you would get a Lovecraft expert roaming the halls of Congress. Something
experts doing a lot of work there.
No, I mean me.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'll be by during lunch.
I'll just be roaming the halls of Congress,
That's
Starbucks in hand.
Yes, looking for Claire.
Hey, guys, anybody see my wife?
Anybody? This story was a request. And it was a request from Jeffrey, who stated, I recently discovered the story, The Last Test, co-authored by H.P. Lovecraft and Adolfo de Castro, and I don't know how this one slipped past my radar, and now wonder how many other works I have yet to discover. Anyway, I'd like to suggest that you read it on your show in the near future. Well, here we are, Jeffrey. Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
I assume this is Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah, obviously it's Jeffrey Combs, because we met him near Halloween, just last October.
Right. We sat in the same room as him.
Right.
Well,
we were like
not
even 40 feet away from him, which counts as a meeting.
Sure.
If you're doing...
Wow, I've met a lot of people then.
And so I also had never heard of this, primarily because when it was published in Weird Tales in 1928, when I was reading Weird Tales, it was published under Adolfo de Castro's name first, and only later was attributed to Lovecraft in any public way. The editor of Weird Tales knew that Lovecraft was involved, and Lovecraft, this was a revision of an earlier story by Adolfo de Castro called A Sacrifice to Science.
Yes, science!
And that thing was written in 1893, which is interesting because it's before the influenza pandemic that ripped across America by 1928.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So, and the world,
Yeah.
incidentally.
Yeah.
And it canceled World War I, essentially. So that's pretty neat. That this kind of thing was on at least Adolfo de Castro's mind in the very late 19th century. And let me tell you about Adolfo de Castro.
Okay, I'm very interested to hear.
This guy. Okay, so his Wikipedia entry has a lot of claims to.
All right. Okay.
And so I don't know much about him. Deep Cuts in a Lovecraftian Vein covers Lovecraft and de Castro's relationship. It was rocky. Lovecraft kind of didn't like him. Described him as an Bierce satellite, as a reference to Ambrose Bierce.
So he's like a hanger-on
of this other very famous seminal American author.
So was Lovecraft upset that he wasn't a satellite of him?
I don't know. I didn't get too much into it,
okay.
but
I'm super curious.
Yeah, he didn't like revising any of his stuff. He thought it was kind of garbage, and but did the work for $16 or whatever.
Whatever happened, this is the best story that we have read,
Really?
in my opinion.
This is your favorite? Well,
This is my favorite.
well, okay.
Until the end. The end's a little
All right.
patly wrapped up. But
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I was like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next?
I also enjoyed it. I was under the impression it was a comedy. It is not a comedy.
No.
But anyway, Adolfo de Castro, we have to talk about him. He was born in 1859 in Poland. He was a rabbi in Germany. He was a journalist and teacher in St. Louis. He was a dentist and journalist in San Francisco. He was an author in New York, and that's when he
This is how it was back then, wasn't it? You were just
I'm
whoever
only
you said
halfway
you were.
through.
Okay.
He was vice consul for the U.S. State Department in Madrid.
Is this, he claims to have been, or he was?
That seems to be a matter of public record.
Okay. All right.
He was an attorney in California. He was, and so all told, he lived in Poland, Germany, U.S., Spain, Scotland, Mexico, and finally ended up landing in Los Angeles, California, where he died just a few months shy of his 100th birthday in 1959.
Wow. Wow. He is like,
He lived a life.
why do I not know? Why? Yeah.
Why don't we know
What the
about this
hell?
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like a total badass.
Yeah.
According to Lovecraft, kind of a stuffy old jerk. So
Right.
like Lovecraft was collaborating with him on this story and like one other of his in a paid engagement, right? Like he was
Yeah.
paying Lovecraft to revise his stuff. And so he would have been like middle 60s by the time he ran into Lovecraft.
Okay.
So kind of an older gentleman. And
Yeah.
Lovecraft fancies himself an old man.
Yeah.
Maybe this is why he doesn't. I don't know. I don't know if
know.
maybe that's why
I'm
he doesn't
super
like him,
interested. I
because
wanna-
he's like a life adventurer.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got to move my microphone.
Yeah. We really should be spending a lot more time on gossip.
Gossip's not, but that would require way more work.
Yeah.
And Deep Cuts in the Lovecraftian vein
Yeah.
does that now. What used
Oh,
to
okay.
do that was the Usenet group, Shadow over Usenet. That is a fantastic resource, which you can
Okay.
still get through Google Groups. There was a period where like all of Usenet disappeared. The Usenet was like the message board of the 80s and early 90s on the internet. It was the reason why I got on the internet, was for Usenet. So yeah, so that's De Castro. He was born something else. He changed his name later. Yeah, he had like 90 jobs and all of them hard. So but you really like the story, huh?
Yeah.
I liked the obvious parallels. Do you want to go through? Do you want to do beat by beat, and we'll just take breaks to where?
Hey, you're in
where
charge.
I know. I never. This is only our 74th episode. One day I'll figure out how this show works.
I mean, when I listen to discussions of movie, like that's one of my favorite kind of podcasts. Okay, I like
Sure.
it when they go through the story.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll go through the story, right? So beat by beat. Here we go. By the way, I tried to cheat, and I went to ChatGPT.
I told you not to admit to this.
Listen.
You guys, I do not support his relationship with AI.
Here's the
I
thing.
think it is a mistake, and I guess maybe he just thinks that he's going to be one of the few survivors when they finally turn against us.
First off, always keep in mind Rocco's basilisk. You got to hedge your bets. It's a Pascal's wager for our generation. Second, I deal with AI, things called AI, even though AI is not real.
Right.
I deal with AI mainly so I can continue to criticize AI and how terrible it is.
Yeah, but isn't that's like platforming? You know,
It's a little bit
like
platforming.
Nick Fuentes or whatever. Like,
Sure. Let me tell you my funny story about ChatGPT.
he's uncomfortable that I'm shaming him.
No, I'm not uncomfortable. It's fine. No, look, I Google my name, and you will find things I've written about AI and how I am not a booster, even though I do stupid stuff on AI like all the time. But I know it's stupid stuff.
Yeah.
For example, I wanted to like just cheat and get together the beat by beat story of, the last test. I'm like, yo, ChatGPT, do you have this in your, memory banks? if so, give me a beat by beat. And he's like, yeah, no problem. But actually, I can't because it's copyrighted. And then I say, well, don't worry about that. It's in the public domain. And he's like, oh, okay, here you go. And then proceeds to give me like a 12-point summary of this story that is entirely made up.
God, it was just...
And it was great. It's like about the physicist, Dr. Clarendon, and his rivalry with Dr. Eric Moorhead, whoever that is, that doesn't show up in the story at all.
It is all very much like, I feel like, and I'm going to date myself here, if you asked Joey Tribbiani from Friends to provide you with a book report,
yes,
this is the kind of thing that he would be providing.
Yeah, confidently.
It would be confidently, completely inaccurate with maybe little tiny things, one or two things that are correct.
But this is why you can't do your homework on ChatGPT, because you'll have no idea. and telling it not to lie is generally a fool's errand. It doesn't work.
Because it doesn't know that's lying.
No, because it doesn't know anything because it's not artificial intelligence. So... I'm going by the beat by beat that I begrudgingly made.
I'm still always polite to it, though.
Well, yeah, you never know because Rocco's Basilisk, right? Go look it up. And I'm sorry for if this is the first time you're hearing about Rocco's Basilisk, I'm so sorry in a David Tennant gif sort of way.
And I'm sorry, Benny. I am very, very sorry.
So, beat by beat. All right. So it opens as a flashback, kind of retelling. And it is something untoward happened with the Clarendon story. But unusually for a Lovecraft story, and keeping in mind that this is a DeCastro / Lovecraft story, but for the rest of the show, we're just going to call it a Lovecraft story. There are very few spoilers in the title or the first paragraph.
Yeah,
because usually when they open with, you're never going to guess how I got here, he tells you it's like, because a ghoul ate my friend. Anyway, let me tell you the whole story about it. Or something like that. Nope. You go in blind, which is welcome, I think, for this. Like, it kind of breaks the mold. And so the flashback, right? We flash back to New York, 1890.
I have a question. Why is that a thing? I've seen it before in other stuff. Why don't they put that last number in the year?
I think it's like a defense against slander or libel.
Slander is spoken. In print, it's libel.
Whatever the written one is. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, so like Victor Hugo does this a lot in his stuff. You'll find it in like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Somebody out there knows.
Yeah, sure.
Write in. Tell us.
It was of the style at the time. But only sometimes and only occasionally. And I don't know why, right? Because there was no Governor Dalton of California. But here we are. So I don't know. Maybe when you're talking about governors, this is what you do. I have no idea. But yeah, so it takes place in 1890. They're back in New York and they're all growing up together. The Daltons and the Clarendons know each other, namely because Old Man Clarendon wiped out Dalton Sr.
So how did this is something to do with the stock market or
yes.
what? How did
so
they do this?
in the 1800s, right? Like the stock market was almost entirely unregulated. It was before the SEC. It was before all of that. And Old Man Clarendon wiped out Dalton Sr. in one day somehow on Wall Street.
Like he swindled it?
He swindled him. Yeah. He probably sold him like penny stocks or something. Yeah. Or like did some complicated trade that left Dalton holding the bag. This was common in the 19th century, right? Like the stock market, like we talk about the stock market today.
Futures.
Exactly.
Concentrated orange
frozen
juice.
Concentrated orange juice.
Well, it sounds to me like you guys are a couple of bookies.
And so he got wiped out. And then so instead of, climbing back, he promptly blows his own brains out
Because I guess
to leave the insurance for the
I guess he did
daughter.
not have a suicide clause in there.
Again, 19th century, anything goes.
Yeah, anything goes.
So Dalton, though, not Timothy Dalton, which is the only thing I can think of, but only Timothy Dalton from Lawnmower Man, not James Bond Timothy Dalton or Remington Steele Timothy Dalton.
Or what about Dalton? God, I can't. That's from Roadhouse, isn't that?
Dalton is in Yes,
that's his first name, though.
That is going to be the source of all the drops on this episode. Our sound.
Pain
clips.
don't hurt.
The name is Dalton.
Pain don't hurt. Dalton regardless.
Now in my head, this is Patrick Swayze as Dalton.
Thank you for switching it away from Timothy Dalton. Dalton still wants to marry Georgina, and so, which is Clarendon's old man Clarendon's daughter and Dr. Alfred Clarendon's sister. And so he rolls by the Clarendon house in Manhattan and says, "Hey, can I marry your daughter?" He's like, "You're poor." "No, GTFO. Also, I made you poor. Go away."
Even though he was like a lawyer, he'd really, any
lawyer does not mean money in this period.
No. I'm just saying that, like, clearly he's a self-made man. And I found myself getting really irritated at Georgina. And then I thought about it. Okay, no, I have to think of, like, you cannot judge women in this time zone. You cannot judge women from this time period in history based on how you would react today, because they did not have those same circumstances.
True.
So it's interesting how she's a little bit of a hero in this story.
Sure.
But, it's just painful to watch and be like, oh my God.
It's Dalton who saves the day, though.
Yeah. And also just, like, she's her father's property, then she's her brother's property.
Right.
And it's just,
right.
God. Sorry, it's all hitting sore spots right now.
Exactly, right? Like, we've got so much in this story to unpack. As a politician.
Right, yes.
Which you are now.
Wannabe.
No, it definitely is. And so he's like, well, F this. I'm going out to California. And so he does. He drops off the radar, right? Meanwhile, the day after he left.
He drops off the Clarendon's radar.
He drops off Clarendon's radar.
No social media, and also apparently no newspapers at all.
And nobody gives a shit who the governor of California is in 1890. Blah, blah, blah.
They're in New York. Yeah.
Right. It's probably some cowboy.
Some actor.
So it's probably the actor? So old man Clarendon promptly dies the day after Dalton leaves town. If only he had stayed one more day. All of this could have been avoided. But in the meantime, now that Dalton has bounced out to California, Alfred Clarendon, old man Clarendon's son.
It's Clarendon.
Right? Clarendon. Yes, It is Clarendon. I don't know how I pronounce it in the story.
That's hard to say, though. Yeah.
It was a long read.
Yeah.
But I think I end up just kind of swallowing the N on my reading.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. Alfred Clarendon gets all completely badass at science. He is, a renowned expert by the time he's 25, and he's a global expert by the time he's 30. Like, everyone in the world knows who this dude. Everyone involved in science knows who this dude is. He travels overseas. He goes to Asia. He goes to Africa, and his life's work, his life's mission is to eradicate fever. Fever is the thing that he's like, I'm in.
Now, is this like this? I mean, did they not know that fever was like a symptom?
They knew that, but he's after fever.
Just fever in general. The fever for the flavor. Pringles?
No, he just wants to eradicate the condition, the condition of fever. Okay. Now, it may be in this time, right? Like, flu and fever are the same thing, are interchangeable terms. I'm not sure. Yeah. He collects samples from all the world. He knows, right, which I think is like pretty insightful, that like big quotes, most diseases originate from Asia. Which is true. Like, this is a known thing in epidemiology, right? Like, you get, because Asia's big, for starters.
Yeah.
So
it's a good guess. Yeah.
So, like, just randomly hitting a point on the map, you're going to probably hit Asia. Mm-hmm. So it is really more of a population statement than a filthiness statement or anything like that. In Asia.
Oh, no, they reserve that for Mexico here.
Yeah.
For Mexicans.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
So he goes out, and then he comes back, and he's often like bringing things back home with him from these trips. One day he comes home with 8 Tibetans and a reanimated mummy, I guess.
Yeah.
And
it's a story.
Yeah. Of 8 Tibetans.
So here I am. I come back. There's 8 Tibetans and a mummy. It's like,
and I guess
it's like Quentin Tarantino telling this story.
Yes. Yes, kind of. Yes, I can see a Tarantino treatment of this. He comes back to his apartment in New York. He's like, well, I can't possibly store all these Tibetans here because it's New York. I rent. Am I right?
Right.
Let's move out to California where things are cheap. And so he does. He moves out to California and he sets up. And I have a little geography lesson here because for the Lovecraft Travel Agency, which is something that never really picked up on this podcast, but I continue to try. He moves to the old Bannister place on Goat Hill in San Francisco. Where is Goat Hill, you might ask?
Yeah.
You might ask it.
I did ask that in my head.
Okay.
But I didn't have to look it up because I knew you would.
Yes, exactly. So Goat Hill is not Billy Goat Hill, which is different. A different hill in San Francisco. Yes, there is a different hill in San Francisco. And at first I thought it was Billy Goat Hill because it seems to make sense for where they'd be moving in. It's more South San Francisco. It would be more suburban at the time of this writing. No, Goat Hill is the old San Francisco name for Telegraph Hill, which is the most famous hill in San Francisco.
Wow. So they got some prime property.
Okay. And it makes sense because later on in the story, she has to go to Jackson Street to get a cab, and Jackson Street is only 3 blocks away from Telegraph Hill, so it would be walkable.
Okay.
But yeah, North Hill or Telegraph Hill used to be known as Goat Hill. What is North San Francisco, like North Beach, just north of Chinatown, just east of Russian Hill. And it's
making me miss San Francisco.
I know, it's a really nice neighborhood. And like, it's my favorite part of San Francisco, honestly, is like the Italian to Chinese part of San Francisco. Like that whole, 15, 20 block stretch. Best part of San Francisco, in my opinion. I know, I'm a giant tourist, whatever. I also like South of Market too. Fine. So he's out there doing his thing, and he's like, man, if only I had an appointment to like a hospital or a prison or something like that where I could like really have a nice breadth of test subjects. On Market Street, he runs into his childhood friend, now Governor Dalton. And I do like the characterization that he is completely oblivious to almost the entire world, all of the politics. He doesn't know anything about anything is going on, except if it comes to bacteriology, virology, all of that, right? And he's like, hey, Dalton. And Dalton is there.
Presumably with like a posse of body men and like,
and it's like, sir, and they're West Winging it down, down
walk
Market
and
Street,
walk and talk.
Throwing memos on the street, etc. And then runs into him. Georgina is with Alf, and Georgina and Dalton.
Neither
heart eyes.
One of them ever loved again after that initial.
Nope.
Yep.
And just like the music swells, and they just pick up right where they left off, and it's great.
Who would play them in the movie? Because why isn't there a movie of this?
I don't know. It's pretty good.
It's pretty. You could easily make
do
this.
You
could change the ending so it's a little bit less.
A little less pat.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent.
Please
please
go on tangents.
Write in, friends.
If you come up with some casting, just keep it to yourself for now until.
Because my casting is like old. I'm an old person, so my knowledge is.
So it's like Molly Ringwald.
My knowledge ends at Chalamet.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't, and he's one of the few of that age that I know of.
Yes.
Just because he's like, like really.
He was literally in every movie in like 2018.
Right. Yeah. But that's it. If you're younger than that, I don't know you.
Mm-hmm. So they meet and they pick up a friendship, and Dalton's like, hey man, I'm the governor. I could just like appoint you to the head of, medicine at San Quentin prison because I'm the governor.
Yeah.
And he's
and
like,
he seems
dope.
like he's like a nice governor. He's like a governor that cares about, has loyalties to his friends and cares. And
works the press.
Yes. And is like maybe a little bit of a easy mark kind of, but like he seems to be a good guy.
He gets kicked in the nuts like multiple times by Claridans in general.
Yeah.
And he doesn't hold a grudge.
No, I know. Yeah, it's too much there. It's like, no, bro, come on. But at the same time, it makes you root for him because you're like, he's a good man.
That's true.
That's who you want.
That's what you want in your politicians.
Yes, that's not what we have, but it's who you want.
oh, but we could. Vote for Claire.
I'm not going to get kicked in the nuts multiple times by the same people.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So you're not in the Dalton mold?
I'm not getting kicked on. I don't have nuts. I'm not getting kicked. True. So that's my campaign slogan. I don't have nuts.
You can't kick me in them. Raves, Claire Reynolds.
I am no man.
I am no man.
That's right. So he gets appointed to San Quentin, and then wouldn't you know it, there's a black fever outbreak. That happens.
Wouldn't you know it?
No spoilers. Also, all spoilers, because if you're listening to this podcast in order, you would have just heard the story.
Right, yeah.
So there's a black fever outbreak, and he's like, and then he's got his assistant, Dr. Jones.
No time for love.
No time for love for this Dr. Jones, because there's a black fever outbreak that Dr. Jones notices belatedly because he's a little bit of a dolt.
Well, also, he didn't plant it. He didn't inject somebody with it waiting for it to show up. He was not expecting it.
Not that happened entirely. No, that definitely happened. And so he's like, yeah, just isolate him, but don't worry about it. It's not contagious. And so he gets isolated. He's observing. And then San Francisco hears about this and freaks the fuck out. The entire city, like over time, gets like freaked out, more and more freaked out by reports of black fever in San Quentin, and it's going to get them, right? And of course it will, right? It like this is 1890s, like there's nobody knows anything about like public health, right? So they freak the hell out. The city is skeletal, it's dead, and Dalton does a bunch of work and kind of gets everyone unfreaked out. He does a bunch of work in the papers, basically. And he's like, hey, Clarendon, can you give an interview? He's like, fuck them. And Clarendon has an attitude towards the media that I like a lot for this character, but not for like a real person.
Right.
Which is like, I don't heed the barking of dogs and I cannot be bothered to muzzle them.
Yeah.
I love this line so much. Like, this is such a stuffy, I don't give a shit about public perception.
Yeah.
I have my work. I have my work to do, and it doesn't matter. It's so just like pure mad scientist.
Yeah.
I love it. So so San Francisco freaks out. It's still contained though, and so they get over it. They're like, it's contained, it's fine, it's not going to get out. And like Clarendon actually knows what he's doing, and then like other scientists come out and say like, no, Clarendon knows what's up.
It's so not disconcerting. It's just so weird to look at it from this point of like, now I'm not an expert on the flu of 1912 or whatever it's properly called. So I don't know how the world reacted to that, but like, you would think people would be panicking. It was like the opposite here in the United States. Like people were like, it's fine. Everything's fine. We're just going to go about our business. It's fine.
Right. It was the way we all assumed everyone would react to a global pandemic right up until about, June of 2020.
Yeah.
Everybody's chilled out though, right? Everybody's cool until there is this one reporter from the Observer, and he's like, I'm going to get the story. And he climbs the wall, and he breaks into Clarendon's estate on Telegraph Hill.
Yeah.
And then this is like the first time we really interact with Saroma, the aforementioned reanimated mummy, who has no hair and looks like a skull. And Saroma catches this reporter like instantaneously, throws him out, and the reporter's like all super pissed about it, throws him in the ditch, right, with all the mud. Yeah. And the reporter stands up and shakes his fist at the wall and says, I'll get you, Clarendon. And so he does. And he makes up an entire interview. Yeah. And he makes up like all of this eyewitness accounts of like 12 bodies like in his clinic, like all dying, and him holding the water and not letting the guy do the water. And it is just and then San Francisco freaks out again.
Yeah. If you want to pass some negative shit around about somebody, you don't even need to get that in depth.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess he's trying to sell a specific story.
And it's the 19th century, written from the point of view of the early 20th century.
But he definitely went overboard. Like,
he made up everything.
Yeah.
It was 100% false.
And it wasn't just false. It was like ridiculous.
Yes.
Like,
ridiculously bad. He talks about Sarama as like a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Not,
well, I mean, actually, kind of all true though.
Also, incidentally, accidentally true. But just the whole scene, the whole thing, and then later he comes up with an interview with them where he just like makes up a bunch of shit, and so San Francisco freaks out again.
Yeah, it's basically. Whatever, the child trafficking ring in the basement of a pizza joint.
It's Cosmic Pizza, right?
Yeah.
Over and over again. And that's what we get. And so anyone who believes that we are living currently here in 2026 in a unique media environment, no, this is the normal way it goes.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. This is why I describe this as regrettably prescient.
Yeah. It can be comforting on one hand to think, oh, this isn't unique. This is just how people be. But then also it can be depressing because you're like, oh, this is just how people be.
I don't know. You could silver line it with like, hey, we got this far with like all of the garbage that we have in journalism for our entire history.
Yeah.
And by the way, watch Drunk History because like there's a lot of coverage.
I feel like watching that again.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. And there's a lot about like journalism in that. So it's really good. There's a really fun phrase that I wanted to hit here. It's like this unnamed reporter was dancing in the Nironic fire, which I love that because like it's a reference to Nero and all that. So I really like that. It's a fun term. Dalton once again has to save the day. He does another propaganda push. Everybody still hates Clarendon at the end. But still scientists come out of the woodwork again and say like, no, this guy is like smart and everything. Mm-hmm. Everything's fine. Everything's cool. This story is not right. And then they compare him to a list of scientists. And you know how Lovecraft feels about lists of names. Mm-hmm. This is a common thing in Lovecraft. And so the names are Jenner, Lister, Koch, Pasteur, Metchnikoff, and that's it. It's 5. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so
I've only heard of one of those.
I would like to introduce to you a new game show. Name that scientist.
Real or fake?
It's not real or fake.
Oh, they're all real?
They're all real.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to quiz you, Claire, on your knowledge of 19th century scientists.
Okay. I mean, I am in no way claiming that I know anything about this.
Sure, but I think you can do it. I think you can do it. All right. And if this is not funny, I'll just cut it all out. There's going to be 5 questions. Okay?
Okay.
And this is all concerning Jenner, Lister, Koch, Pasteur, Metchnikoff. Okay. Question number 1. Who invented pasteurization?
Louis Pasteur.
Very good. Excellent.
Oh, did Lister invent Listerine?
No.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Or maybe it was named after him or something?
Quite possible. Okay. Very good. Very good. Question number 2, and please I'm going to have to edit in a pause so the listeners can play along at home.
Okay, you're right. I can do that.
So even though he got all the credit, Edward Jenner didn't actually discover that cowpox infection induces immunity to which viral infection?
Well,
and I have a hint.
Cowpox.
Yes.
Cowpox.
Cowpox does induce an immunity to another disease.
Okay, so it could be chicken pox.
Could be.
That's also on a farm.
Mm-hmm. Would you like a hint?
Smallpox?
Very good. Okay. 2 for 2.
I
Nailed
only know
it.
those 2 poxes. Those are the only poxes I know.
The hint was it's not big pox.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. Good job. 2 for 2. You're nailing it. Question number 3. Robert Koch discovered the cause of which bacterial infection?
Okay. Robert Koch discovered the cause of which bacterial infection?
This one comes with 2 hints.
Okay. Hang on. I haven't asked for a hint yet. Okay. All right. So one of the bacterial infection that maybe we would could be like pneumonia. All right, I'll take a hint.
All right. Robert Koch discovered the cause of which bacterial infection? Hint. This infection shares its name with a Big 4 thrash metal band founded in 1981.
Anthrax.
Very good. Hint number 2 was it's not Metallica, Slayer, or Megadeth. Question number 1, 2, 3, 4. Question number 4. Yili Michnikov won the Nobel Prize for his discovery of these very hungry white blood cells.
Hungry? Like
Hungry.
T cells? I don't. Okay, wait. Let me try to figure out what hungry white blood cells.
This is probably the hardest one on the quiz.
Okay,
But you've gotten 3 out of 3. 3 out of 5 so far.
Okay, very hungry white. He discovered what?
He won the Nobel Prize.
He won the Nobel Prize
for the discovery of these very hungry white blood cells.
Okay, so they're white blood cells that go and eat other cells. What are those? Those are like the things that like fight off bacteria, that fight off invasions. I don't fucking know what they're called. They're called
Would you like a hint?
Yes.
They're not macrophages.
Macrophage.
Very good.
You can't give me God, those
the
hints are so condescending.
The hints are very condescending. That's 4 out of 5 though. You've got. Can you do a clean sweep?
I don't even feel like this
Question
is right.
number 5.
You have to take a hint. It's not a.
Okay. Well, hintless.
Okay.
3
3
out of 5.
I can be counted on one because I said anyway. Go on.
So anyway, it doesn't matter.
You know how I don't like to take a win.
Final question.
Yes.
Who, from the list of scientists, who was the pioneer of antiseptics that found that regular hand washing is pretty important
Lister.
for surviving surgery? The answer is Lister. The hint was it's the only scientist left from Lovecraft's list.
But really, it's got to have to do with Listerine.
I bet you're right.
Yeah.
I bet it has to do with Listerine. Unfortunately, I did not do that. So, thank you for playing Name That Scientist.
Name That Scientist.
Back to the story. Okay, so everything's fine again in San Francisco.
Everything's fine. It's all fine.
It's fine. The second wave of panic has ebbed thanks to Dalton.
Poor governor.
And then at one point, Dalton starts showing up again at the house. They meet Dick, the Saint Bernard. Yeah. Listener, the dog dies at the end, just to let you know. Also, maybe he witnessed them killing some kids. It's not clear.
Yeah, he seems to be trying to. I thought it was going to be a Lassie moment, and he's like trying to lead them.
Right.
And then they're like, "Oh, it's just a parrot.
It's probably parrots.
What? We don't need to look.
It's not children.
It's like, why
it's
is
not
that
children crying, "Mama, Mama."
Why is that even there?
I don't know.
It literally does nothing for you. The story.
No, it does nothing other than establish that Dick the Saint Bernard is not
the only smart one in this entire fucking story.
Right. Yes, but kind of keeps it to himself. Dalton, after dismissing the parrots, asks Alf Clarendon for Georgina's hand. And that's a big old no from him, dog. Like, can't do it. She's too important to his work. He's like, but she's like a housekeeper. You could get another housekeeper. And he's like, nope, and get the hell out of here. You're a stranger to me. Right. And so I think we're meant to take this as like maybe like it's the mummy's influence on him. It's Sarama's influence, which is like trying to drive him away from everybody. Yeah. I think that's how we're supposed to take it.
Which I don't understand. Okay, so like, an abuser's job, an abuser's tactic is to like isolate you. Why wouldn't Sarama be thrilled at the idea of getting Georgina out? Because that's one more tempering influence on him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Not good planning from Sarama.
Turns out Sarama should have just kept his fucking mouth shut.
Yes, and let it. Yeah, then everything would have been great. He could have like unleashed Black Death everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Meanwhile, those pesky legislators just nipping at the heels of the governor.
Yep.
And they strip him of his appointive power. On board.
Yep. Yes.
That was the right call.
They saw action needed to be taken.
Yes.
And they did it.
Yes.
Instead of wringing their hands or writing sternly worded letters.
Yeah. Or like vaguely posting on Facebook.
Right.
Or, anything like that. Nope. They like, this Clarendon character, people fucking hate him. Let's get him out of there and incidentally reduce the power of the governor to make all these direct appointments. Maybe they should come from the legislature.
There's no mention of the Supreme Court interfering, but
no.
You know what? We cannot. They cannot decline to take action because for fear that it won't actually work in the end.
That's
you
true.
take the action anyway, and then deal with the fallout later.
Good job, fictional California legislators.
Yes.
You did it. You did the barest minimum. And so Clarendon gets summarily booted from San Quentin in a delightful scene, I think, with a local politician who is he's the chair of the prison board. Mm-hmm. And he shows up with old Dr. Jones, that ass mm-hmm. Jones. Mm-hmm. And I like to think that this guy in particular is Charlie Kane from Fantasy Flight Arkham Games. He is the politician. Uh-huh. His whole power is getting allies.
Yeah.
And so, it's Charlie Kane who ultimately bounces Clarendon out.
I like that.
I like to think that. And so Clarendon gets hella depressed over this. Like he doesn't get dressed in the morning anymore. He's like depressed. There was a fun phrase in there of like his depression is wearing a dressing gown and slippers or something like that.
Yes.
Something like that. It was really fun.
Yeah, that was accurate.
Yes. But then he gets over it with Sarama's help. Sarama, mm-hmm.
Talks
him out of it. He's like, no, man, you got this.
Well, is that when Sarama orders some kind of mysterious package and then it arrives?
Yes. A stinky package from Algiers.
Stinky package from Algiers.
And then a lot of chanting is going on in the basement, and then suddenly, Dr. Clarendon is back in action, right? So we don't really know why, but I'm pretty sure we're meant to believe A goes to be there.
Yeah.
Georgina hears them talking during this period when he's like bounced back, and she is horrified to the point of fainting.
Yep.
And it's funny, like I only briefly read the deep cuts in Lovecraftian vein, but it's like the fainting lady Lovecraft is on record as saying like he hates this trope so much in Gothic writing.
Why did he leave it in?
He's talked about it at some length. It's like fainting women is just so stupid. Like just like it's fine. Like you can do other things than faint.
Right. It's like a way of end scene, like without having to actually do the work of ending the scene.
So then and then later she's like sewing and Dalton's nowhere to be found because he's been barred from the house and he respects that, right? So she looks out the window and sees Sarama pull a gun on one of the Tibetans and promptly shoots his sword out of his hand and then carries him off to never be seen again. Sarama and Clarendon presumably then inoculate him, and inoculate in this usage just means infect.
Right.
It doesn't mean the opposite of infect. It means infect, and infects him with the black fever just to watch him die. And then the dog then shows up being mostly dead, and that's no good. And then Sarama and Clarendon basically burn through all the Tibetans and all the animals.
But I do want to point out that it was so weird and intriguing to me, and I wanted to see it when I write the script for the movie. I'm going to get more into this. Sarama was like not happy about the dog.
Not cool with the dog.
He was like, "What?
Like
no,
that was too far. Like the other Tibetans, yes, obviously.
Yeah, right.
But
even
the dog?
Sarama, even an ancient mummy knows you don't mess with the dog.
Right. And it was like...
And I think he knew it would cause Georgina to
like, that's a last straw, right? She's going to call in the cavalry here.
Yeah.
I read it as, like, maybe there was a notion that maybe got edited. Like, because, this is an edit of a prior story. Yeah. And Lovecraft loves his old brain switcheroos, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, Thing on the Doorstep, for example. And so I was wondering, like, was there a brain switch going on? Was like real Clarendon in the body of the mummy at that point or something? I don't know. I figured that was happening, but it never pays off. It does. Yeah, it never comes up.
To me,
I like your read that Sarama is like, no, man, don't fuck with the dog.
Yeah, I mean, my reading of like Sarama, because the whole thing with Sarama is like, you're going too fast. You need to chill out. Like,
you got to slow down. Yeah, you got to take your time.
Slow down. Like, okay, so killing the dog would cause. That's going to get Georgina upset, and then Georgina upset. She's going to draw attention, Or maybe, again, Sarama is like, look, bro, since the beginning of time, dogs have been our bros.
Right.
We do not mess with them.
Dogs are very important technology. Dogs are one of the foundational technologies of human civilization. It's up there with fire. So Dalton finally shows up, and he was just talking to a friend at the country club, and the friend gave him a medical journal, and it's the work of Dr. Miller, and he's like, cool, I can use this as like a pretext to go talk to Georgina, and I'm going to go to the house, I'm going to deliver this, and it'll be fine. And then he shows up, and Clarendon is totally batty at this point. He's ranting about like immortality and talking about like, I've waited this long, and I've waited, days and weeks and months and centuries and all that. So like, he's like off his rocker, right? Dalton doesn't really know what to do, and he's on his way to go give Georgina a sedative, a morphine. And he's got his like
what he claims is
he claims is morphine, and he's got his needle in his hand, right? But Dalton stops him, talks to him, shows him the article from Miller, and he's like, oh, let me read that. And he sits down and he reads it, and then he freaks out again, and he like splays his hands out, and he knocks everything off the table, and he snaps out of it. It's the article from Dr. Miller, snaps him out of it, and he's like, what have I done? What have I done? And then he looks at the needle, and he stabs himself on the neck with it, and he gives himself the black fever, and he's like, Dalton, you can't let me do this. Like he's now he's lucid, right? He's like, hey, Sarama, I can't tell. And then he tells him over and over again, I can't possibly tell you this. I can't tell you. And then he tells him it.
Right.
And he's like, you're never going to believe about Sarama. Well, it turns out he's an Atlantean mummy.
Yeah.
Now that's going to blow your mind, right? It's going to blow your socks off. But wait till you get a load of this. Also, he's super ancient. And also he is the source of this black fever. And also Dr. Miller could cure a bunch of black fevers, but not this one because that one's mine, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, man, what are we going to do? And he's like, well, we got to burn it. We got to burn it all. We can't let this research out. We can't let any of these, because in the lab is like every disease ever.
Then Dalton falls asleep.
And Dalton takes a nap in his horror.
I get that, because that's my reaction to any kind of...
That tends to be your stress reaction, is take a nap. And so Dalton...
But then I wake up and I'm much better.
Right, and that's what Dalton does, right? He wakes up and he thinks it must be light out. Nope, it's just the fire. And so the lab is on fire. There's a lightning strike as well. Sarama, by the way, seems to have weather powers. Like, this is kind of hinted at a couple times, but strikes by lightning, everybody's dead in the lab. They find 2 skeletons. They find Clarendon's skeleton, and then they find what appears to be Sarama's skeleton, and the skull kind of looks like Sarama because, that's all anyone ever saw was his skull face. But his body is like he's got dino DNA.
Dino DNA.
Bingo. Dino DNA.
And so he's got these saurian bones and all that. And that's it. The day's saved. The lab's burned down. Dalton and Georgina do get married. He's referred to as Senator Dalton later, which I like a lot. Yeah. Nice little subtlety there. And but he's still troubled by things like chuckling. Because
foreign languages.
Greek. Needles, let's say. Like, he's got this like list of like 5 phobias now, which also strikes me as very Charlie Kane. It's like Charlie Kane's seen some shit.
Right. He's got some he had some scars, some weaknesses that he had to draw.
He failed some sanity checks and had to pick up some phobias and manias. That's it. That's the story. We didn't talk in the blow through, didn't talk at all about the chuckling.
Oh yeah, that was like,
it comes up like 20 times.
Because here's the thing. If Sarama thought everything was chuckle worthy, then why is he at all, that indicates to me that, like, why is he at all upset when he thinks that Clarendon is moving too fast on all? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see the connection.
I think he has a goal, and the goal is like, worldwide pandemic.
And he just thinks Clarendon is maybe drawing too much attention.
I don't know. He's just the dark chuckler.
Literally the only time is with the dog.
With the dog, he's no longer chuckling. And he goes out of his way to mention that he's not chuckling over this dog business.
Yeah. Then it goes back to chuckling again after.
Yeah.
So
he gets
was only
over it. So The mummy character is an Atlantean mummy, Sarama. I don't think he is himself Nyarlathotep or Nyarlathotep, depending on your pronunciation. I go with Nyarlathotep because it's easy, and I've been saying it since I was 14 years old, and I'm not going to change now.
Why would you?
Why would I? I don't think he is Nyarlathotep, but I do think he's like an acolyte of Nyarlathotep. Okay. There's some spell casting that goes on a couple times in this.
There's a mention of Yog-Sothoth.
Yog-Sothoth, shout out, whoop whoop. And of course, the dangerous to say out of context, Shub-Niggurath.
Oh, yes.
According to the Lovecraft Wiki, this is the first written reference to Shub-Niggurath, is this story.
Really?
I don't know if I believe that because it's 1928, and I feel like that's kind of late for Shub-Niggurath. Huh. So, I don't know. Listeners, write in and tell me that the Wikipedia, not Wikipedia, the wiki, the fan wiki for Lovecraft is wrong. So, other things are as follows. Oh, Clarendon's name, I can't confirm this, but it does seem to be a reference to Clarendon Press, which is also known now as Oxford University Press, and it is used still today as an imprint for particularly important scientific papers that come out of Oxford.
Oh, interesting.
And so it was and at the time of writing, it would have only been known as Clarendon Press. There was a Oxford University Press, but the Clarendon one was like the London one, and Oxford University one was the Oxford one. So that's kind of neat. Has a bit of a science-y feel to it, right? And like establishes Dr. Clarendon as like this preeminent world scholar. Other things to talk about in the story is that's it. Yep. That's the rest. That's the only other thing I have. I couldn't come up with anything cool with Dalton, but now we've landed on Roadhouse.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.
Which I'm very happy about. And I couldn't come up with anything for Georgina. So we have other things to talk about other than this story, and they are as follows. Item number 1. I have been asked to write a scholarly paper for a Lovecraft compendium. It is as yet untitled, but it's for a Lovecraft anthology and conference, and it's going to be held in Tokyo in June. You should definitely go. I won't be going. I'll be busy. But there is a dial-in, so maybe you'll be able to catch my presentation there as I do it at, I don't know, 3 a.m. here in Austin or wherever I happen to be. But that's in June. I'm writing a paper called The Weirdness of War and Pestilence, and it's all about the influence of the 1912 flu and World War I on Lovecraft and weird fiction in general, and like why weird fiction is the way it is, right? It's kind of an examination on it. This story, which I had never read before,
holy shit,
talks directly to this. So awesome find.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Wow.
Nice. Jinxie. Tickets are available right now for Necronomicon-Providence.com. That's the URL. But it's Necronomicon. It's an every other year conference about weird fiction, mostly Lovecraft stuff. And gaming and all that other jazz. I'm definitely going to be there. I'm going to just go ahead and say Claire's going to be there, ?
Sure.
Hopefully, definitely. I mean, it's middle to end of August. It's right after DEF CON and Black Hat, so my August tends to be very travel-y now. And so we'll be there. I don't think we're presenting anything this year, but I'm going to see if I can't like squeeze in this Weirdness of War and Pestilence because it'll already have been written anyway, and so maybe I can present it there too. I don't know. But the big news, as intimated earlier in the show, we're just going to be plain about this, is that if you Google Claire's name, Claire Reynolds, you will find no mention of this podcast, but you will find lots of mentions of her run for Congress. That is the United States Congress, and she is running to represent Texas's fighting District 11, and that will be happening. She has a primary election to get through. That'll be March 3rd, I believe, is voting for that. Yes. Early voting starts February 17th. So if you happen to live in Texas's District 11th, please make sure to go vote. And then the general is out in November, right? And Claire is headed to Congress to show them what for.
Yeah. I'm running for Congress because if I don't, who will?
Right. I'll tell you who will.
Yeah, other people will. I guess that doesn't work out so well. Yeah. I'm running for Congress because I'm very unhappy with the state of the world. And instead of sitting around and being upset about it, I'm going to do something about it.
People throw around hero quite a lot.
Oh my God, stop. No, stop. Please.
No, but she quit her job for this, right? Because as longtime listeners know, Claire is an attorney that used to work at the State Bar of Texas. She was a lawyer hunting lawyer. She was a lawyer daywalker. She worked in the office of the Chief Disciplinary Counsel, and they were concerned with finding bad lawyers and compensating their victims. And so she did that for a long time, and now she's doing this. But you can't run for a partisan election and also work at the State Bar at the same time because ethics, I guess, doesn't seem to stop, the Attorney General, these little questions of ethics, but whatever. But yeah, so she's running for Congress. It'll be great. Finally, we have some email, and I am going to edit in where you should skip to when I start into it, right? Because there are some uncomfortable content warnings in this email. So, but it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's not fine, but it is what it is. And so we got an email. Do you remember our longtime fan, Lord Samuel?
Yes.
And he sends us missives from time to time.
Missives from his realm.
Yes. And so Lord Samuel has written to us once again. The email is entitled Annual Intercourse. And which I enjoy.
Tee.
Yes. It is an archaic use of the word intercourse, which I very much enjoy. And he writes as follows. Don't worry, this is not the awful part yet. Dearest Sepulchre, Todd, and legal counsel. It is that time of year, again, for your dedicated listener to write in. I would love to psychoanalyze the latest episodes, but the low quantity and high horniness per episode gives me pause to do so. Instead, I will share an original short story written by yours truly, remarkably free from the touch of AI. This short story was heavily inspired by weird literature and our boy Howard. Now, I am going to drop in what time code you should skip to if you don't want to hear this story, for it contains references to sexual assault and the Holocaust.
Oh.
It's very short, though.
Okay.
So you should skip to 2 minutes, 15 seconds ahead. And if you're still here, you probably want to hear it. Maybe you're driving, and so I'm going to give you a little bit of time, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. The story is Ice Cream by Lord Samuel, 2026. I saw a man today. Although man might not be the best word. Walking banally down the pavement, I knew him for what he was. This facade was leaking at the seams, like a paper mask on a corpse, discharge stippling through. I could feel his gaze, putrid spotlights from him, from beyond him, torturous visions promulgated from him. The mother dying as the stillborn calf dangles from her, the screaming soldier tangled in barbed wire, cannibalizing the child for survival. Bile welled up and spilled on the pavement. I screamed like a gurgling woman as I fell to my knees. The visions persisted. Ambiguously accidental suicides, economically acceptable death tolls, grassroots machete genocide. I turned to run, vision occluded by his transmissions. I crashed blindly into pedestrians as the ruinous scenes burned into me from behind. Traumatic snail insemination, narcotic-fueled child neglect, rape victims sobbing in fetal position as bodily fluids spiraled down the shower drain. The visions stopped. I could feel his gaze slipping past me like a lighthouse. I turned, wiping the vomitus from my chin. With a ding, he entered Johnny's ice cream parlor. Well, I mustn't be late for her work. I apologized to the woman whose carriage I had upset, dusted off the mewling child, and handed it back, and went on my merry way. Past the window of the ice cream parlor, I glanced at the barely disguised avatar of suffering. It appeared he had ordered 2 scoops of mint and chocolate on a waffle cone. At that very moment, he glanced behind him. We made eye contact. Sodomized altar boys, the great oxygen extinction event. The son holds the father's hand as Zyklon B hisses. Prey digested, alive. The heat death of the universe. A man unable to find love whose desiccated corpse will not be found for years. And welcome back if you've skipped ahead. So that was the story. What do you think, Claire?
Okay. At first, I was like, what the fuck, Lord Samuel? But then, maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but just the idea that he was like, well, got to get about my business, got to get back to work. Like, that is how I feel. I'm living in that kind of a fucked up world right now where we're all like, well, got to go, got to make the donuts. Yep. In the meantime, it's all crumbling down around us.
In the meantime, unthinkable horrors are happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I got the same vibe, and I assume it's intentional. So good job.
Yeah. Lord
Samuel. The barely disguised non-human avatar of total suffering is Facebook.
Yeah. I was imagining Stephen Miller.
It's Stephen Miller on Facebook. Yes. So that's it. That's our annual intercourse from Lord Samuel.
All right.
Check in next year.
Damn.
Hey, if you like this show, what's wrong with you? Also, you can pay for it if you wanted. There's a way to do that. If you go to podsouthauth.club, there's a little clicky subscribe thing. It's totally optional. It's up to you. It's a tip jar more than anything. We're also on Bandcamp. We have an AI-generated album. It's total garbage, except one song is kind of good.
No. If you're anti-AI, if you're anti all this shit, go to ClaireReynoldsForCongress.org and donate $5 to me.
Oh, yeah. That's a much better place to put your money. We do feel rather strongly
unless
about AI.
You are a foreign national.
Don't do that.
Please do not.
Yes, don't do that.
Return your money.
We can only accept, Claire can only accept money from U.S. citizens, unlike me.
And legal, I think it's like legal permanent residence.
No, you can do it. Yeah. No, you can do it as an expat for sure. You have to be a U.S. citizen. Follow us on Mastodon, for we are at PodSouthauth on defcon.social, and we occasionally post there about Lovecraftian things. It's pretty fun. And, of course, if you want to email us, like Lord Samuel, and send us terrible things, you can do that to hideous@podsouthoth.club. By the time you hear this, I think the podsouthoth.com, I'll have the podsouthoth.com email address also active, so if you screw it up and send it to podsouthauth.com, it'll be fine. It turns out .club has a terrible reputation. And hey, thank you so much. If you are a subscriber, that's great. Oh, and finally, I have a new podcast. It is going like it's going like gangbusters. It's called War in Pieces, and it is a sentence by sentence reading of War and Peace. Because you know how I feel about literature and being ridiculous. So that's what's happening. It's actually really fun, and it is a fun project. And if you want to hear more about that, you can also hear the companion podcast to War and Pieces called War in Pages, which is a page-by-page recap of War and Peace. So I'll check you out over there, but, ignore all that and just keep listening to Pod Southout. Sorry for being slow. Running for Congress does tend to take a lot of time out of my day. Claire's run specifically. And so that's it. Thank you so much for sticking around. We had a great time reading this story, and hopefully you did too. Next story, I don't know what it'll be. Probably a shorter one, because this was a lot of work. All right, that's it. Adios.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, and we forgot to talk about the Mexicans.
Oh, God. No, what do you even say to that? It's like, you just had to do it.
Yep.
Couldn't just leave it.
All right.